Hey, Sean. Recently, I had the privilege of meeting two young, just getting started filmmakers who were eager, and they asked me for some advice, and I gave them some advice. I don't know that it was the best advice I could have given, and I gave myself a couple weeks to think about it. And here is my revised advice, which I thought might be worth sharing, of 6 things that I would tell anyone who's just getting started in filmmaking or really any creative professional endeavor at all. I'm going to go through these from least important to most important. So number 6 is read books. And I don't mean just books about video production or whatever graphic design, whatever creative endeavor you're pursuing or you're getting into. Don't just read books about that discipline, but read books about other creative disciplines, about business, about any number of things. My 3 favorite books that have helped me with video production, none of them are video production books. Number 1 is Every Tool's a Hammer by Adam Savage. It's a beautiful book about the process of creativity and how you approach it. Number 2 would be How to Do Nothing, A Guide to Resisting the Attention Economy by Jenny Odell. Fantastic book about sort of where the things you create fit into the larger world and where to accept and resist influence that exists in the world right now. Wonderful book. And lastly, Clockwork by Mike Michalowicz. He's a business author for small businesses. And it's a book about scaling your business. And even if you're not looking to scale your business, being thoughtful about how you construct your business and how you make creativity sustainable is very, very important if you want to do it for more than a couple of weeks. So those are my 3 book recommendations, but let's move on with it. Number 5 is have a healthy relationship with gear or with tools, whatever the things you need to create with the discipline that you're creating. With video production, it can be really easy to say, I need the best camera, I need the best lights, and I can't make this film until I have these microphones, this audio recorder, these lights, this camera, these lenses, whatever that is. It's a dangerous place to be and an easy place to get to where you think you need certain gear to do certain things. And while that's true in some extreme cases, I've watched myself and many other filmmakers obsess over, my camera's 3 years old. I need one of the new ones. I don't want to work on this big idea yet until I have a good enough camera to really make it good. And it's such a dangerous place to be because it's going to keep you from making stuff. And that's the problem. So borrow, rent, and be discerning when you buy gear because it has the ability to equip you to do wonderful things, but it has the ability to be an obstacle if you don't understand your relationship with those things. And as a quick example, I have a lot of audio recorders and a lot of microphones. I'm recording this video with an on-camera microphone that's on a boom pole with a headphone extension cable right into the side of my camera, because that's the easiest way to get from my idea to a completed video. I don't have to sync any audio. I don't have to save separate files. I don't have to back anything up separately. It's just easy. And so often that's the best thing for any videos. What is the shortest distance between 2 points? And adding extra gear can be a hindrance to finishing a project. And as another example, I've filmed so much on my phone lately because it's easy. I don't have to worry about exposure and focus. So much happens automatically that it's the fastest way to get from my idea to a completed project. And it may be of a different quality, but a lot of the times it's good enough. And so don't get hung up on not having the right gear. Just focus on what you need to make and borrowing, renting, and sometimes buying whatever gear you need to make that happen. Number 4, make stuff. You got to iterate. You got to do stuff. If you're going to be a video producer, if you're going to be a filmmaker, you have to make films. And as obvious as that sounds, I know people who only really work when they're doing like a paid client gig or working on their big project, and they don't get stuff out and film every day. And I don't. And every day might be too much, but getting repetition on your tools, your cameras, your lights, whatever it may be, is so important because that's how we not only improve, but maybe find things that we don't enjoy doing in the process and get better at the things we do enjoy once we've identified those things. And the only way you learn that is by doing it. And so if you're going to run a marathon, you don't only run marathons in every major city for the marathon. You go for little jogs every other day. You are constantly working towards something. Sometimes you're doing a leg workout or an arm workout, even though you might not think that helps your running. It does. Video and creativity is the same way, where sometimes if you're trying to do feature films filming a documentary, filming some B-roll, filming something with your phone, trying to film something in slow motion, trying to film something at night. Just a clip here or there can go so far to helping you hone your skills and identify what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy, which is a big part of being sustainable long term. It's important with number 4, with Make Stuff, that you don't get trapped in hustle culture. Because for some people, it can become an obsession, and people talk about and glorify the grind and the hustle. And like, I've made a short film every day for the past 3 years. And now like, it's an easy way to get burnt out. You have to be okay with periods of your life when you don't create stuff every day, when you don't have super high output. And maybe your target isn't every day. Maybe it's something every week, every month, whatever it may be for you, whatever fits into your schedule. Do it in a way that you can approach it in a healthy way. So that way you're not getting burnt out or doing more than you should be doing, or doing more than you can think about doing, because that's going to get into our next piece. Number 3, set aside some time every week to design what you want this to look like for you. As a business, as a lifestyle, as a career, as a hobby, whatever it is, take 10 minutes every week. Put it on your calendar. Really do this. This is something that I pulled out of that book, Clockwork, which impacted me more than I thought it would, so much so that it's this high on the list. Above Make Stuff is think about making stuff. But think about how and why you make it. And what I do each week is, and this is again from a book, it's a great book, I have a dashboard, and it's just a couple of metrics that each week I sit down and I ask very simple, vague questions to myself, and I fill in the answers on a spreadsheet for that week, and I do it every week. Things like, are there any invoices that haven't been emailed to customers yet? Are there any assets that I'm waiting from clients that they haven't sent me yet? Are there edits that I haven't done yet that a project is waiting on me to finish? How many new client inquiries did I get this week? Things like that, where I can go in and quickly say, I got 2 inquiries this week. 1 edit is waiting on me. I'm waiting on something from a client. Maybe next week, they're completely different. And the point isn't to look at these things and react to them quickly. The point is that over time, you can start to look at this and say, wow, every week, I'm only getting one call. What could I do maybe to adjust and get more client inquiries? Or man, every week there's 2 invoices that I'm always behind in sending. Could my cash flow be better if I sent invoices faster? You only get that insight when you reflect with regularity. And the other part of reflecting, not just on the operation of your business, but on the creativity of it, as you're making stuff, as you're learning what you like and what you don't like, being thoughtful about it is important, and reflecting on it is as important as doing it. And when you learn these lessons about things that you really enjoyed doing that might have surprised you, or things that you don't enjoy doing, whether it's creative or business related, taking the time to reflect on that and remind yourself each week is really important to making yourself sustainable creatively and financially, and also in bettering yourself and continuing to hone your craft and advance yourself. Number 2 is almost tied for number 1 with me, but number 2 is make mistakes. Be okay with making mistakes, because everyone makes mistakes in every industry, but especially in creative industries when you have to push things and try things. Make mistakes, but know that the most important thing about a mistake is how you react to it. And this is what separates people I hire from people I don't hire. I won't hire somebody, or won't hire someone again, who handles problems poorly. Because when you're on set, things happen. When you're doing creative stuff, things happen. You could light something and then all of a sudden the sun comes out through a window and everything's overexposed. And I've worked with people who are like, oh, okay, we got to bring this down. Maybe we can cover this window. That's their attitude. I've also worked with people who said, oh my gosh, we have no time for this. We need to record now. Okay. And they just approach the project, the problem with frantic energy, and it's awful. Know that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes as you plan things. You're going to make mistakes as you shoot things, as you edit things, as you work with clients, and your relationships that you have with crew. You're going to make mistakes about everything, and it's how you learn and how you improve. And the best advice I can give is be okay making mistakes. Be understanding when people you're working with make mistakes. And going back to number 3, your reflection, reflect on those mistakes, and each week revisit some of the biggest mistakes that you've made, write them down, take notes so that you can learn from them and continue to better yourself. But the attitude that you have around mistakes and risk taking is a really, really important thing to helping you move forward in a healthy way and advance yourself, and build a community of clients and collaborators with whom you have good rapport, because everyone's okay trying things and pushing the boundaries without being afraid of making a mistake, because we know it's a part of the process. As an extension of this, I was asking my friend Sean Kirkland. He and I have this budding relationship, and he said, I asked him, like, what are 2 pieces of advice you would give tasked with this question? And he said, take jobs that you think you might not be ready for. And I'm paraphrasing, but when you are doing professional creative work, there's going to be steps in your career where you do something you've never done before. And if you're not doing that, then you're not advancing at all. And let's say it's a music video. Somebody says, hey, I want you to do a music video. Like, I've never done a music video before. I've never done a project like that before. You can say no, but you'll never be ready until you do it. The first music video you shoot is going to be the first music video you shoot. The first music video you shoot for a client, it's going to be the first music video you shoot for a client, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so being open with your clients about, this isn't something I've done before, but it's something I'm equipped to do, something we've done things very similar to. And I'm going to be open with you about the process, and we're going to work together to make this happen. And maybe the price will reflect some of that inexperience. But being open about that and being open to mistakes from yourself, from the client, from the people you're working with, is going to make you a resilient creator and creative that will enjoy this process, will continue to improve at this process, and will gather a lovely client base and people who are willing to refer you throughout your career. And this brings us to number 1, the most important piece of advice: collaborate. Work with other people. And this could take many forms. This could be genuinely working with other people, but sometimes reaching out and asking anybody who does what you want to be doing, asking for a favor. Say, hey, can I come on set with you? Can I come to your studio? Can I just watch? I'll bring coffee. I just want to be a fly on the wall. Or do you want to work together? Or I've got something going on. I'd love your opinion on it. You would be surprised at how many people are willing to share their time and talents with you, in the same way that you, if you're watching this just getting started, if somebody came up to you and said, hey, I saw a couple of things you made and I really like them. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Do you mind if I come work with you sometime? You're probably going to say yes. If somebody comes in with a happy attitude about working together and collaborating, everyone enjoys that. And the worst that can happen is somebody might ignore you or say no, but you will be surprised at how far you can get by coming into something with an open heart and saying, I want to collaborate, I want to make mistakes with you, and I want to learn with you and from you. So work directly with people. But the other part of this, and this was Sean Kirkland's other piece of advice, consume content thoughtfully. And while technically not collaborating, when you look at work that inspires you or study someone else's work, or spend 15 minutes, an hour, spend a day watching stuff, looking at stuff, poring over someone else's work, there's value in that. And when you study it properly, turning off your brain and scrolling through social media doesn't count. But when you add reflection to that, and when you add mimicry to that and say, I love this kind of photo, I love this kind of video, I wonder if I could film an opening sequence like that. I wonder if I could do shot for shot this same opening sequence from this movie I like. The stuff that you're going to learn from that is so huge, and it's still going to be unique to you because it's going to be your style applied to it. You'll never perfectly mimic anything else. And the lessons that you can learn from that are huge. And taking those lessons back into your reflection and reminding yourself of them is a huge way to keep yourself progressing and to keep yourself in a good headspace moving forward. And I think one of the examples right now, I'm writing this video and recording this video that's like a Casey Neistat ripoff, completely like moving, talking to the camera in different spots and making a meal out of filming a paragraph of scripted words that I'm filming a sentence here, a sentence here, a sentence here, and zooming in progressively for impact. This video is definitely not going to go in my portfolio. I might not even upload it to YouTube, but the things that I'm learning from going through this process about camera position, about lighting, about moving things quickly, and about talking to camera and scripting and flow and pace have been huge lessons that will apply to other things. And I'm only learning them because I'm, number 4, making stuff. Number 1, based off of someone else's work that I'm inspired by, and then I'm reflecting on it and coming back to it to see what I can learn from it and how I can improve myself with it. So those are my 6 pieces of advice. Thank you so much. If you have your own advice. If you've been doing this for a while or you're just getting started and you heard some good advice somewhere, please feel free to throw it in the comments so that other people can find it as well. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night, whatever, wherever. See you later. Bye.